again. In part one of the video, we did see the reason for understanding a little bit about the client, where they're coming from, the maturity of the industry, what they're capable of, even before we started embarking, on pitching the product, right? In this part of the video, my primary objective is to broadly again walk you through the two important facets, which is the capability of Imarticus Game Studio and what we could potentially offer to our clients. So this is going to really help you understand the area of products and the area of service a little bit more in detail. So let's get back, to our mind map once again. So we did, see areas about research. So now the question is, what can we offer, right? So that's largely the question that we're going to deal with right now, even before getting into a little bit more about structured presentation and how do you go about presenting Imarticus Game Studio. What can we offer? There are two broader, spectrums again, right? We are a product company. We want to be a product company, and our primary goal is to excel as a product company within Imarticus Learning. There is also this element of services that we could definitely offer, right? So products and services are two main things that we could offer. So before we get into products, which is what we're going to do in the third part of the video, let's explore a little bit about services and what we could do, right? So what is our USP? Why do clients, who have worked with us, prefer working with Imarticus Game Studio, right? We come with a certain subject matter experience, right? We are coming not from the gaming industry. We are coming in from businesses where we understand business processes a little better, where we understand the nuances that exist, within each of the businesses. For example, if it's an insurance business, we have people who have worked in the insurance business before. If it's, let's say, investment banking, then we have tremendous experience within Imarticus, of people who really understand investment banking, right? We also have the expertise not only of the domain, we also have the experience of converting this into a game-based mechanism, which will help solve for some of the challenges that companies, today have, right? So that's, our core USP, where we are individuals, or we are a shop or a studio which has a unique combination of understanding domain knowledge and also bringing in game mechanic and coupling that with existing research in this particular space, to provide a solution that caters to the needs of organization. So that's the unique USP why people typically prefer working with us, where there have been instances in the past where companies have gone and contracted traditional gaming studios, and the gaming studios were not able to deliver because they did not understand the exact business problem that the companies typically offered, and hence they had a challenge, and they later on reached out to us, where we went ahead and then provided solutions. So we have worked on very niche solutions like having a VR game generated on Lean and Six Sigma. We have worked on solutions like enabling organizations to understand business processes end to end, with the help of a game, right? So these are, certain unique products or services that we have worked in the past, which other gaming studios might think twice before they even embark on something like this, right? But having said that, what are the services that we could do, right? Today, if a company has, let's say, a business problem, the first thing that we do is to identify and work on the business problem with the client. Once we work on the business problem, then we go about, helping them articulate, this in the form of certain metrics that we need to track, right? So most importantly, to build any game is to understand at the end of the day, what are the metrics that really drive the behavior or drive the overall use case, from a client standpoint. And hence we pretty much look at the metrics that really drive each of these games, right? So that's extremely important for us to understand. So we would first go ahead and understand the metrics that we need to look at and measure, and subsequently we go through a complete design and development process. We work with the client to do that. uh, what are the kind of games that we could develop? We could develop VR games, we could develop AR games. We have a studio where we have close to about 35 people belonging to different work streams, such as 3D art, 2D animation, right? We have Unity developers, game architects, narrative designers, subject matter experts, business analysts, who uh, whose combined experience help us design unique games, right? So our game studio at Imarticus is uniquely poised because we have experience working with different industries and different organizations, and we have experience in building games that are pretty complex. So from a services standpoint, this is where we stand. We typically, today at Imarticus Game Studio have one thumb rule. Uh, and the thumb rule is, if there is a services, can we actually convert that services into a future product, right? So which is, if there is a particular client who comes to us and then say, hey, this is a business problem that they have. A business problem could be, I would want to train my employees on communication skills, decision making, and certain behavioral skills, let's assume. But today we do not have a product. So we would really love to work with such clients, because when we work with that client, we would be in a position to build a product specifically meeting the needs of the client. But having said that, we also could leverage that particular product where we would be in a position to sell it to other clients, right? So the most important filter that we today have is to really look at services business in a manner where it could actually offer us future product business. The second thumb rule obviously, is it a large services? For example, the Bible project as we speak, in terms of revenue, is that a large services product which could give us very good revenue? So these are two yardsticks that we typically use within the team to check if we would want to take up services or not. So let me just quickly summarize what we have seen so far. uh, at Imarticus Game Studio, we have our own set of products, and we do take up services. But within services, what's extremely important and keeps us unique from the other game development studios which are available in the market, is that we are a serious gaming company. We do applied learning games, and we have a scientific process for developing games, and we have immense subject matter experience and gaming and research experience, which helps us position our products and articulate our thoughts a little bit better than the studios out there. What really helps is build these games. We have a team strength of about 35 people, ranging from different streams into 3D art, 2D, Unity development, game architects, narrative designers who put in their minds, heads, and thoughts together to design these games. And as a thumb rule, typically what we do is we do not accept any services unless and until it falls under two important brackets. One is, uh, if the product that we are developing as a service to a particular company, can that turn out to be a future product for us? Which is, can we hold the IP of that particular product, and then we sell the product to multiple other clients in the future? So that's one important thing that we check. And we obviously take up projects which gives us large revenue. From a services standpoint, even a smaller game in terms of a ticket size, considering game development is pretty costly, the bare minimum ticket size that typically we take up is anywhere between 12 to 15 lakhs. So if unless and until you want to do a very small VR game or an AR game, if you would want a decent game with certain good mechanics that you could roll out to employees, the typical ticket size or value would range anywhere between 12 to 15 lakhs. Okay, I hope this particular video has given you a sense of our services business, our capability, why are we uniquely poised, and what's the thumb rule. So whenever you're presenting it to the client, or whenever you hear a client requirement, please do filter that particular requirement basis some of these things that you've heard right now. Is it worth pursuing that as a service? Does the client have at least the minimum budget of 12 to 15 lakhs for them to build these particular games? Is the problem that big that they're willing to spend about 12 to 15 lakhs? And more importantly, you could present our overall capability in terms of our existing products to showcase our ability to design these games. In the next video, we would now deep dive into products and then get to understand the products a little bit more better. Thank you.